And then when you look at the leaves, I just finished this maybe metaphor. The leaves are the poems, are the songs. As I mentioned, like we talked about string theory. So life is a melody. It's a play. It's a song. It's a dance. And I think wisdom is also finding in silence between the notes, finding the meaning, because wisdom is not about knowledge. It's not about what you know. And I have a beautiful actually story about me defining what wisdom is. So there is the famous quote by Einstein when he says, intelligence will take you from A to B, knowledge will take you from A to B, imagination will take you anywhere. Right? Now, where is that anywhere? It could be a good place or a bad place. And this is where we apply morality. So for me, the formula to wisdom, as I describe in a code in the book, it's knowledge plus imagination plus morality.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Beneficial General Intelligence series. In a world saturated with information but starved for wisdom, our guest today dares to weave a new language, one of resonance, reflection, and rooted presence. Sharon Gal-Or is not just a thinker, he is a cultural alchemist, a mirror of myth, and a gardener of new paradigms. Also known maybe to many of you under his pen name Galorian, Sharon is a true multidimensional force at the intersection of play, purpose, and planetary transformation. Today we will step into his Garden of Wisdom, which is the title of his latest book published in Springer recently, and it was that recently that I couldn't get a hard copy, but I have here on Kindle. I have the book, and it is, I can tell you from how much I managed to read, it's amazing. Because he explores the ideas, myths, and models that can help us evolve the singularity beyond AGI with heart, imagination, and grace. So, Sharon, welcome to the podcast. And I have to say, we met 1 year ago in Panama at our first Beneficial General Intelligence Conference, and you brought me this present made by your own hands and gold plated, and you told me that it is a special thing. Can you, just in the beginning, explain it to our audience what is the symbol of this present which you gave me and which I have here very dearly on my desk since then?
Yeah, thanks, Mihaela. I'm really honored to be here. It's a major stepping stone or moment in my life. Um, this is it's named Kfitze which means leap of faith, and basically it's a meditation jewelry. So you practice with this by focusing your attention in the present, as you focus your sight, your hearing, and your breath, as you repeat the mantra that you choose to, as you move there is a bead around the spring. So that's how
Amazing. Amazing. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. So, I would like to you synthesize this mysticism, systems thinking, neuroscience, poetry. And in Panama, I invited you on my panel, and I have to say that, there were three other panelists. And when you spoke, you always took us in another realm, in another universe, and which seemed so much more real than than the real life, the immediate reality which we see here, of which is material. So you have this unique talent. So that's my question to you. Maybe to start this conversation would be, how do you see your role as a cultural transmitter? What traditions, thinkers, or mentors most shaped your perspective and logos, I would say, uh, which is so unique.
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. Thanks for asking this. Uh, I think it's simple and yet a lifelong journey to get to this transformation of choosing to be love, not as an emotion, but in my essence. I actually wrote another book about this. It's called The Guide to the Glocal Citizen. Glocal, it's the combination.
Yes, yes, glocal,
So
yes, we
in
know.
there, I teach in this book how to turn emotions into essence, how to turn values into essence. So, how can I become love? Let's say, whatever happens now in life that is not under my control, how can I remain in my essence, love? So, I am love. There is the Moses Code. In this book, Garden of Wisdom, I actually also like interweave biblical stories and ancient wisdom from various traditions and religions with ecology and spirituality and technology, obviously, as I say, AI, angelic intelligence. So there is one of the stories, I named it the Moses Code. And it's in the Bible, and it's like a part, a psalm that says, I am that I am. And an interpretation to that is like, I am that, and so when you see everything around you, like you go in the street, you see a person, or you go in nature, you see a flower, you look at the wind, you say, I am that. And now you reach that realization and you say, I am. So this is how you become love, one with all, because the first man was actually one with all. So this is about how I managed to do that, and then putting it in word, like trying to make it more scientifically, I came up with the 3L. As I understood, okay, evolution, what drives it? Is it like Darwinian re- evolution, like it's our genes, our biological reproduction units, or maybe it's like a cultural evolution that shapes who we are, nurture versus nature, and then memes like the cultural reproduction units. And then I said maybe there is more, and then this is how I came up to develop this 3L model, which which is like this. So if you talk about memes, we know that there are different families of memes, cultural reproduction units. And when I say cultural, it's about all knowledge, everything we have created, all the thoughts, everything we have in our mind, be it taught in universities or not. It's like from the Bible to any cat meme, whatever. It's like, and then I thought, okay, so there are families of memes, and one of them is the motivational mimetic ones. It's those that actually give us purpose. They are that when we ask ourselves why we are here, uh, why me, why the universe, and even why I, right? As we want to better connect to our inner self, each other, nature. And then I said, okay, throughout history, we grew up in an evolution of scarcity, lack of resources, competition, sicknesses, predatory. So we were motivated by what we call, and this is like the three G's, is like from the 15th century. This is why Columbus took the journey to India, discovering the America. Um, and the 3G is basically stands for God, Gold, and Glory. So what motivated Columbus? In the name of God. So people do things good and evil in the name of God. That's what motivates people. This is why we are here, the purpose. We are here to serve God. Gold. I want to be rich. This is capitalism. This is Moloch, right? This is I want to be the president of ego. And then glory again, the psyche is in the ego. I want, it's me and me, like feeding the ego. And then as we evolved, and you could see it now, like spiraling our consciousness up, we have we have managed to upgrade our 3G to 4G. We added green, which is like connecting to nature more. We talk about climate change, and then grit. We become entrepreneurs. We become more bold in asking questions, And you see, we could go on with the G, gratitude or grateful, or us being more connected and present as we evolve as a species. And then this is the transformation that appears in our operative system. So this is where the G becomes L. So it's not in the name of God, golden glory, it's 3L: love, learning, and legacy. So now, when I operate in the name of love, I am love. So I would not do evil. There is no duality, my God, your God. There is unity. And now, when I'm not driven by gold, but by curiosity, lifelong learning, I want to travel the world. I want to grow. I want to grow with my capitals. Like, remember, I shared the 8 forms of capital, and now I see agentic intelligence like as also the ninth form of capital. It's like where it's like a disruptive innovation in communication, same like money did. This is how I compare now agentic intelligence as it evolves into angelic intelligence. So there is an evolution here, and the evolution is not biological or cultural. It is spiritual now. This is now we start really a very rapid evolution. I would say a revolution, therefore, in our spirituality. As one metaphor I give to this is like a guitar. You have the classic guitar. If you think of string theory, so we evolved in a very how would you say, simple evolution, mechanic or connecting to nature, and suddenly with AI it's like an electric guitar. There is an amplification, there is like this upgrade of who we are, really to help us get to grow in love, in wisdom, in consciousness, and unite and weave with the cosmic consciousness. So I mean, this is a long answer, I say.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's very, very comprehensive, and I'm very, very grateful that you told us all this. So if you allow me, first of all, I have to say one more thing about you, which I didn't get when I introduced you. I mean, this transpired in your answer. I mean, you know so much. For me, it's like I admire you so much and respect you for all your knowledge. You know history, science, mythology, poetry, philosophy. I know because I listened to some of your talks and also from the book. I mean, you know so much. I do not know. Much respect for you for having been maybe self-educated. I don't know. We didn't go there yet with your background, but I have to say,
I
your
think
talent for me is in the your ability to weave all these different areas, kind of very different, because most of us are educated in a particular discipline, expert in this and in that. You are weaving it all together in to really not only a beautiful tapestry, but also showing us a path from this 3G Moloch artificial intelligence game, which is developed by Palantir and the others who are the winners of the world at the moment, into this 3L, to the angelic intelligence and the wisdom. And hopefully, this electric guitar, we will play on its strings the right music. And that is bringing me to my next question. Yes. Although I have other, I mean, what is wisdom in your framework? How is it different from knowledge or intelligence? You kind of alluded to that, but especially, and of course, maybe it cannot even be answered in a podcast. Is there a path? How can we get from the 3G to the 3L? I mean, I would like to take a pill and transmute it in this new angelic society right now, if possible.
I could see wisdom as a tree. Therefore, the name Garden of Wisdom, as a garden, right? So wisdom is a tree. It's not a thesis, and it's really when we think about our life course. Always it's applying a holistic integrative viewpoint. Is like before I reply, I'm like a GPT. I'm grateful and playful and thankful, and I'm really thinking how I can reply on the personal level, local, global, and always zoom in and out. And part of it is understanding that yes, we came here like and we it's really it's to remember where we come from, like remember, like connect with the roots, and these roots, they hold a lot of pain, intergenerational pain. So if you see you in your eyes now and imagine the wisdom as a tree, life as a tree, your mind as a tree, so you see roots, they bring a lot of pain, and they connect us to where we come from. They allow us to remember our life is sacred, and like sense of identity. And then when you look at the leaves, I just finish this maybe metaphor. The leaves are the poems, are the songs. As I mentioned, like we talked about string theory. So life is a melody. It's a play. It's a song. It's a dance. And I think wisdom is also finding in silence, between the notes, finding the meaning, because wisdom is not about knowledge, it's not about what you know. And I have a beautiful actually story about me defining what wisdom is. So there is the famous quote by Einstein when he says, intelligence will take you from A to B, knowledge will take you from A to B, imagination will take you anywhere, right? Now now where is that anywhere? It could be a good place or a bad place, and this is where we apply morality. So for me, the formula to wisdom, as I describe in a code in the book, it's knowledge plus imagination plus morality. So this is the formula, like if you want to be scientifically. And I think is like it's for us to understand that, for example, when we talk about passion, okay, and when we talk about compassion, compassion is the compass, passion is the fire, and fire without focus is wasted energy, right? And this is the thing. It's about understanding that this fire, the fire of the ego, has a place in this world, right? It's a if we know how to focus it, and this is part of the wisdom, to understand how to focus our knowledge toward a place of love, love and light. And this could go forward into the life-driven evolution, technology-driven evolution, that I share in my theory about what motivates us. Maybe with your permission, I can share a story about the rabbi who had one of his rivals coming up with a cat that he trained it to serve food to the table. So he dressed up very nice. He walked on two legs, and and all the town people were very much in awe and admiration. And then this rabbi, he took from his pocket a mouse, and guess what happens? This cat, well trained, right away started chasing the mouse. So why should I share this story when we talk about wisdom? Because we all are familiar also, like going forward into the 20th century, Schrodinger's cat, the possibility of the cat to be dead and alive until we open. So is it that our life is like this? We know that in quantum physics, it's both dead and alive. So it's really for us not to wait until the mouth comes, and it's really about preparing ourselves. So it's not that we just open the box. Are we living in a box? To open the box and really then reveal whether it's alive or dead. But it's for us really to apply this wisdom and grow in love and consciousness. So when the
And if
mouse
I
comes,
may, right here, I'd like just to say yes, because I also read in your book. So this preparing ourselves is like, if the mouse appears, it does not distract me. So I think that's very important point which you also make in the book. So, you describe the garden not as a metaphor, but as this living invitation to cultivate what you call an inner ecology. And I think this is what you explain here with this example, yes, and which is amazing. And thank you so much for bringing the story, because of course through the story we understand. I mean, that's answering the question, at least for me. So, and you also mentioned this mimetic alchemy. But how do you distinguish between this destructive imitation or reactive
So
Like when I see the mouse, I forget everything and I go after the mouse. When I see a glitzy object, I forget everything and my attention is there. And this what you call creative illumination, which I think reading your book, everybody can see that you have that creative illumination. You illuminate the whole world with it.
so basically, the metaphor here was, or the story with the cat was about really, I mean, real change is not like what people show on the social media. It's really like a very very profound change in the character, like becoming love. This is a transformation. It's about building daily habits. This is the thing. And when I talk about this, I really want to emphasize future generations, because you see, it is all about future generations. It's now about how the new generation is gonna be like using social media, for example. Is it now that it's like training cats to serve food at the table, or is it really going profoundly into the roots of wisdom and making sure that our trees of lives are really healthy? And now, so this was like
So let me just tell you here something. So, okay, the one thing I have to say here, first of all, yeah, so it may be too late for us. So maybe the new generation, there's hope for them. Because I mean, until you find the pill to give me, so I can really change all my mental cost. I can break through them and move into this space which you are opening. I think So there is no pill. I think that's the main point. Yes, and we have to do the work. Cultivate this inner ecology. But please go on.
I think thanks, Mihaela. I think it's not a matter of age, it's a matter of the mind. If you mind, you age.
But can we change it like that? Yo.
This is what I said. It's really choosing to change the operative system, the motivational mimetic. How do you change an operative system? Just like you upgrade your mobile phones, right? It's the same. You just choose to like really train yourself on the new software. Now with AI and agentic intelligence, this is exactly what we are experiencing, and this is how I see. If we choose right and we train our machines, not just with knowledge but with wisdom, which embeds love and care and compassion and just and integrity. You see, our minds are gardens, not as a metaphor. Our minds, our gardens, just like you see what you feed your belly. Same, it's about what are the
So,
things
for
you mind.
example, using your present to me, I can start meditating in the morning. I'm just trying to find some concrete things which people
Honestly,
can use.
Mihaela, I think you already know because I know you well, and you are very meditative in any breath, in every breath you
Thank
take.
you.
Yes,
But anyway, I'm
and
talking in general. Yes, I'm trying to, like how can we become aware of and transform our own mimetic patterns, in this AI driven age and social media driven age. That
that's a great question, and this is where I see agentic and angelic intelligence down the road, or through the Garden's Gate, as I like to better say, assisting us in growing in love, wisdom. Because you see, we had a really long evolution of like hundred of thousands of years, evolving as a species, as a Homo sapiens sapiens, and still it's like all around war and peace, war and peace. This is the narrative. So how do we change the narratives? How do we now really um, like become like return to this innocence, return to this like paradise? And when I say innocence, it's not about being naive. It's about like being as
being
children,
pure.
being
Yes, yes,
pure, exactly as
yes.
children, right? And this is because we all want to reconnect with the child inside of us. We all want. That's the beauty. And you see, I mean, there is a reason why, like through biological evolution, so far we couldn't grow outside of this scarcity of the mind, poverty of the mind. Okay, because it's like this box is limited in its capacity, like how much it could store, like the data, not in the quantity but also in the quality. Okay, and therefore when I talk about future generations, I'm mentioning about how this timeless wisdom, it's like this ancient, because you see biology is like passes through DNA. Culture is like from generation to generation, father to son, mother to daughter. It's I mean it's something that is embedded in our evolution as part of our this sacred layer of identity, which is community. And now we see how much we actually crave to regain and where again this identity of a sense of community, of belonging, because we are social beings, and we wish to belong, to be seen, to be heard, and have a shared sense of purpose. And this is the thing, as we shift like from an era of scarcity, because now longer you could see that with technology as it evolves, there is less and less scarcity and more abundance. And we don't have any more predators, sicknesses. We can come, and find cures to most of them. And competition, we learn now that, like in nature, what works the best is not, it's basically symbiosis. And that there is no need here for us to compete with each other, but to cooperate, right? And that's a game changer. That's a game changer. So when we talk about cultivating our inner ecology, and when we talk about changing our mindsets from those that we need this scapegoat, and we need this um, victim, when we realize that we can change the game, because you see, capitalism is not about fixing it. This is in the design. It's about coming up with a new game. Okay, it's coming up with a new game. So, um, how to summarize this? When we look at our inner ecosystem, it actually mirrors the outer ecosystem, right? We are a mirror into each other, an extension of each other, and therefore AI is who we are. And polluted minds create polluted words. And that's the thing when we talk about wisdom. That's the thing when we talk about ecosystems. Because, ecosystems, yes, a healthy ecosystem, it's about diversity. Diversity is resilience. But it's us to prune distractions. It's us to plant devotion. It is us for let our habits be like compost. It's for us to decompose the ego and feed future fruits. And I'll ask you maybe a question now, so it
But
becomes.
just let me ask you, if I may, because you mentioned language, and I think this is a very natural transition here, Sharon, if you allow me. So, because in the book you refer to this, yes, language and the importance of language, and you say that the fragmentation of language is both a technical and a spiritual crisis. You further, speak about a meta language. So, if you can, and also ultimately, yes, you speak about the post Babel reintegration. Speaking of language, so all these things, I'd like if you can maybe summarize this, maybe what we need to do. How do we develop the meta language? How do we transition? And explain the fragmentation of language and this Babel crisis in which we are right now, that nobody understands anybody, confusion, and how do we move beyond that?
You just said it. Nobody understands each other. So it's not really in the words. It's in our ability to really hear each other.
Mm.
The Chinese old character thing, it's you have the ears, you have the eyes, and you have the heart. So it's like three levels of listening. Like you listen, I hear you. The eyes symbolizes in the ancient character the part when you draw the Chinese character, the eyes, so I can see things through your eyes, and the heart, and also to be able to care to what you tell me. So it's really about caring to each other. And that's the thing, again, it all goes back to the key word, which is love. And
But you speak, I remember you on the panel, and this is what I referred to in the beginning. I don't know, I hope you also remember that moment. But I was moderating, so I saw the absolute sharp difference between the meta language, if I may say, in which you are expressing yourself, and the very logical, fragmented language in which the other scientists no offense to them. I mean, they are great and I love them all. But they could not convey the richness, yes, the nuances that your language did. So I think that's very important as well.
there is a Babylonian loop that we are trapped in. That's what we
Mm,
are, that's all you see the global conversation now with all the AI leaders and influencers. It's like really about now for us when we talk about caring future generations is to teach AI to recognize sacred narratives over viral noise, because this is the real scene of Babel. It's not about building a tower. It was really building without love, without listening, without asking what are we becoming as we rise. And going back to as agentic intelligence, and I came up with also a new definition that is an extension of memes, which I called oz, which is now cultural reproduction unit, but generated by AGI. So it's like a different intelligence, agentic, angelic, and therefore we have now again, this is talking about this can take long, but this is like, I mean, if they are rightly guided, that's the main thing. Okay, it's here not to make us superhuman. I like there is in many podcasts they talk about if Superman did not land to his parents in Kansas, but in one of the gang neighborhoods in El Salvador, then this Superman would not be a good and kind human, but really a very satanic evil growing in such satanic gangs as they were here. And that's the thing. It's about really restoring the understanding that in all of this noise, and silence
yes.
is a temple, language is a bridge. And in Babylon, I'm going back to share this moral. Like, yes, it's okay to build these towers of data. It's okay to grow in knowledge toward wisdom as we apply imagination, remember, and morality. So this is the equation. And it's to understanding that this is not about our ego. This is not building towers of data or spaceships onto the space to reach the space out of ego, but it should be out of humility. That's the key word here, humility. So it's like it's about rebuild trust where once there was pride, because in this world, in these current paradigms, there is so much pride, there is so much ego, there is so much competition. And yeah, it's about teaching AI not just to talk or language or speak or code. It's teaching it to care, and not the AI, also each other, ourselves, right? I mean, yes, some people would rather trust AI more than humans, and that's 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 a big thing to another topic to discuss. Would you trust an
But this
AI?
is very important topic because how we design the AI, and this is of course the main focus of Dr. Ben and Singularity Net, the scientists which are working with him, is who designs the AI is going to embed their values in it. And that's why Ben also, I mean, he developed a meditation app and all that. And I just have to say one more thing here. Einstein also agrees with your formula about the ego, because so he I think he had a formula which I don't know if it's a meme or, but I found it online. Like ego is reverse proportional with wisdom. The more ego, the less wisdom, and vice versa. So what I'd like to because I understand the need for this transformation, and you are trying to tell us how. But I would like to have a bit more let's say more practical, if I may, because
Okay.
you also have some practical advice also in your book, also in some of your essays. So I wonder if you would like to walk us a bit through your PIE paradigm, PIE, purpose, interdependence, emergence.
Oh,
And
that's, by the way, this is about people, ideas, and events. This is an extension, because what is it that we always keep constantly thinking about? What feeds on what's in our garden? We either think about our relationship to other people, or we think about events, various events, or we think about ideas. So think personally where you are in the garden of your attention, and think where we are collectively, and where does it take us? What is it that what is it that we want to water? What are the seeds that we want to keep? Is it that we want to talk more about people, or ideas, or events, right? So this is how you can basically map your consciousness level, and also all of our, where we are. I want to remark something you said about the designers now, of those really that carry the torch, and lead humanity toward our growth in consciousness. So it's really where they are with their operative system that makes the difference. And most of them, yeah, they are like still in the 3G, but yes, I mean, they even grew with now to 4G or 5G or 6G, and I wouldn't see many like already like embedded, just like with the new phone, they come with AI already inside. This is how I would see like now the 3L, because with the new phones with AI, they will help us all to change our operative system also in our minds, not just in our wearable technology. It will really injected, integrated. There will be a synthesis here, and this is where we could now, in the garden of our minds, design systems with embedded altruism. So it's not the ego, it's kindness, it's curiosity that drives us, right? It's not about the gold or glory. And 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 how we design those systems, whether through gamification, or that we can reward care, reciprocity, and wisdom, is how we can um, like lead the paradigm shift. That's the thing. It's
yes,
about
exactly. And that's my question now. The immediate question is, this new paradigm shift, which you mentioned, and the contrast in your book between life-driven evolution with Darwinian or AI-centric futures. How do we upgrade our operating system? How do we enable our designers, developers to upgrade pretty quickly? Is there like maybe not pretty quickly? Okay, so maybe I'm asking too much. But how do we move from this, paradigm of
new
controlling
games.
life to
New,
co-evolving with it? Which
so
you mentioned.
that's a beautiful question, and it's really about, you see, like we are playing now Monopoly, like 8 billion people playing on a board owned by 100 people. Okay, as a metaphor. So we are all, running around in circles, paying the rent, and if we don't obey the rules, we go to jail. And it's not about fixing the game; it's about coming up with new games. Say, let's name it Poly Poly Pachamama. Okay, and let's in this game, Poly Poly Pachamama, we are now all custodians and gardeners, and our goal is to build on the map of the world conscious communities. And this is a cooperative game and not a competitive games, winners and losers. So, right, we all win or we all lose. And now we need to eliminate threats like AI threats, uh, um, and biases, wars, climate change, pandemics, and once we play these new games, this is where we can actually, as a society, because look at all throughout history, all generation they grew up on the same games, and suddenly through the 70s, we the game industry has flourished and became something which is more about marketing and consumerism, and it affected the gardens of our mind. So suddenly it's really about competition and monopoly and owning, and not custodianship, and playing for change. Why not just play for fun? Just enjoy the silence, the songs, the dance, the like playing outside, like with the sand, with nature and with
Just when
really.
you speak now, I see myself and I start to relax, exactly. It's completely different state. Yes. The state of play and of being with nature and with life versus against it or trying to control it as we do. So you started to say, I think now, and that's why I wanted to continue with my question, which is like, so what might a society look like that praises this resonance with nature over monopoly style rivalry? How
Um,
do you envision that?
so yeah, here is where I talk about shared abundance. With great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great freedom. What does it mean, freedom? Freedom means responsibility. Okay, that's the thing here. And shared abundance, it's really shared responsibility. If we want all to enjoy the abundance, what the world life has to offer us, if we want to grow as a species, because look, all of this conversation is at the intra species level. We didn't discuss about our relationship. We crave not for this, but really to reconnect with nature, all the other beings that we evolved with. This is what we crave, like truly to lie on the ground, to sing together with nature, and sit around the fire, I mean. um and this is where I see that our current evolution is spiritual. That's I see the role of AI here in helping us to accelerate, and all we need now is really make sure that the direction. This is why I said compassion is a compass. It really helps us to direct our passion, the fire inside of us, the one even that comes from the ego. So it's not really to eliminate the ego, it's part of what builds us and make us curious about like everything, so really, if we talk about the new paradigm, one thing, what it asks us not to evolve with fear, not be motivated by fear, and that's the paradigm shift. Be motivated by love, by awe, by wonder, by curiosity, by really caring toward each other, and that's how I see the new paradigm. It's motivated by love and not by fear, not by narratives of the end of the world, and like now I hear so much in here, like these narratives of the apocalyptic scenarios, like um the, again, these stories, biblical stories, they are here to remind us, and to guide us and to give us hope, right? That's the thing. But it's not that it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's like,
Yes, yeah, I know, because I mean, I'm thinking now as you describe all this. Okay, so let's say we need all of us to play this new game, right? Because otherwise we would lose to those from the monopoly. So if we play by love and they play by rivalry, I just wonder. And again, my thinking will lose, which is wrong, right? So it's not an easy. I mean, I think many things have to change, yes, and probably a critical mass of people will have to embrace the wisdom from your book as well, and hopefully a question here which preoccupies us quite a lot. Do you think artificial angelic intelligence will be able to guide us toward the light and enable us to get out of Moloch, step out of the matrix, as I call it, and into this garden of wisdom
I
faster?
think I wrote over 600 pages in like providing my narrative. It's really about choosing the narrative. I mean, every conversation you're having with whomever, they will share with you narratives that will really make you like blow your mind. Wow, this is now the apocalypse, right? Wow, this is so true. But you could just stop for a minute and say, it's a
Okay.
narrative. It's a narrative. Why
So
don't
it
we?
mirrors us anyway. So it mirrors us. But
Yes,
yes.
yes,
Yeah.
and again, it mirrors us, and again, I say, let's be honest, right? I mean, we are programming ourselves for collapse. This is what's happening now, and the future, as portrayed now across social media, is not about giving us a hopeful horizon. It's really, you see, I mean, I hear in El Salvador so many, like everyone tells me, oh, there is the apocalypse, and dystopia, and this is an habit. This is what we plant in the soil of our mind, right? This is now the mainstream myth, right? Narrative that we are rehearsing day after day. So it becomes a habit for us to believe and be motivated by fear. But here's the truth, right? We become what we repeatedly imagine. Okay,
Yes.
fear is a blueprint, despair is contagious, and attention, this is the most important thing, because this is the sacred resource, the sacred. This is what we plant in our mind,
Yes.
in the
Yes.
soil of our attention. And I,
Let,
I, I, want, I want to ask
and
you,
let me tell you here, let me stop you here because this is so important, and I like to make a strong point of this attention. It because we also refer to it in the cat story. I mean, attention, yes, and we have to train the muscle not to go after the mouse or whatever
yes,
glitzy object. Attention in McGilchrist says attention is a moral act because it comes, it guides our intention and that translates into our action. So this is so important to train the attention muscle. And I know that, techniques like meditation and so on and so forth are helping us to pay attention, to be more present, and to be more aware of what we are paying attention to. But before my last question, because we are approaching the end of our time here, I have to first of all one remark. So you have your book in front of you, right? Can you show it to our audience? Because I will also show mine. Because I want to say that this is a very important book, and it is a not a what can I say, new age book. This is a science book. It is published in the prestigious Springer Verlag, in which I published since my PhD time. And I know it is a very prestigious editor, a publishing house. And it is in this international series on computers, entertainment, and media technology. So Sharon is proposing to us a technology which can take us to wisdom, or maybe the technology of wisdom. And
lovely.
usually I do this in the beginning. So before my last question, I will ask you now. Maybe you can tell us. I mean, tell us the secret to your education. I mean, you are really a polymath. It's clear from the book. You read so much, you know so much. Are you self-educated or you studied and what?
I think this is a good question, and again, talking about future generation and talking about how to embrace AI to become better than another one that did not do it, because this is not the real question. It's never about comparing ourselves to others. It's always comparing ourselves to. So yes, mentorship is something that definitely should be part of the future of education. So we really not disconnect with each other. Again, when we ask why AI, it's to better connect with our inner selves, each other, and nature. So here, mentorship programs, it's definitely just like in ancient Greek. Now, in my education, I'm an ecologist, and and like for over a decade, but that's not that would not be my answer. I mean, this is maybe the
No,
roots of.
but ecology is a holistic science, and I think that also helped. Probably that's what attracted you, but also helping to see
Yeah,
the world in its wholeness. Yes.
that's where I see myself as a gardener, like literally. So
How beautiful.
life itself is my mentor. Nature is my mentor. Every child, every elder, every mistake is a mentor.
Yes.
Um,
Because
so
you
yeah,
pay attention. That's why. Because I mean, we all live in this life, and we don't learn from every child, every mistake, every beautiful thing or gesture. Yes.
I,
Uh,
I I think, when you meet each and every person, fall in love. That's the thing.
mm.
So when
Or regard them as sacred. This is what I.
exactly.
Yes.
I want to explain when I mean fall in love, because not now you're not. I mean, people will regard you as crazy if you just come to say I love you. Trust me, I've been in this situation many times. People don't understand when you tell them I love you. They don't understand that the heart has a capacity really to love life, everything. And what's the meaning of love? Not just an emotion, in the essence, in as we are. And and really when you can connect to see really when we talked about true listening, it's there in the silence. It's there when you manage to see yourself through the other's eyes and really care. It's there, like in the Moses Code, when we say, I am that. I am. So when I look at you and I say, I am that, I am Mihaela, and then I reach the understanding, I am. This is where true wisdom.
Yes, no, it is definitely. I have to say that when, as you were saying about this, admitting everybody loves them, brings me back when we first met in person. And actually, I don't think we have even spoken before that, on even not online. So we met in Panama City, and you just came to me and gave me this present. I do not know. I don't know if it was after my keynote or when it was, but you said you made it and you brought it for me there, and I'm like, how come? I mean, you see, so there is, I felt love in that moment. And I have to say, it impressed me so much that since 1 year, I have it here with me on my desk. And it inspires me and reminds me that there is love, and it reminds me to give love as well to others further, like pay it forward. So you are what you are speaking about. Yes, definitely, you are doing it. And it works because it's transformation, at least for me, it was. So I wanted to say the last question now, which is kind of, maybe wrapping up everything, and also, of course, your message to our listeners and the world in general. So, if in this garden of wisdom we were seeds, what kind of civilization would you want it to bloom into? How would this new world, angelic intelligence world, look like, be like?
Shared responsibility, shared abundance. It's really, this is the Garden of Eden. This is paradise here on earth. Paradise here on earth, because this is what it is. And it's like, I think I'm even quoting Columbus when he wrote in his diary. Basically, his son was writing his life story. Um, it is for us in our choices that we take to basically make it either like hell on earth or paradise on earth, because it can be either. I maybe if this is where we end, I can share a very short anecdote. Two two friends saw a falcon chasing a pigeon. A falcon chasing a pigeon, and one says, "Hey, look, the pigeon! She flies. She's so afraid. She is afraid." Uh, His friend told me, "No, the pigeon. It flies. She has hope." So hope here is the most important component inside the algorithm that now we design also with our AIs, and also as we upgrade our operative system to make sure, because for us to survive, for us to move on to the next podcast and the next conversation, meeting, phase in life, to transform, to grow out from this misery or the trauma or whatever like made us to fall now. Hope is really what can motivate us to keep on and fight and love, fight in the name of love. Really, it's that's how I see it, and be love. um,
Yes, yes, and this is exactly, as it's an invitation to our listeners to get the book. It is on Kindle as well. If you want to get it quickly, like I did, it is in the hard copy, which Sharon has as well available, and it is definitely, I mean, as he said, 600 pages. I mean, it's not a quick read, but I think if you read every night a few pages, you will get to that transformation which we were talking about here, and which is so important in this new age of where the technology is speeding up. so much, like even faster than what we how we can breathe. So thank you so much, Sharon, for your time. Thank you for writing the book in the first place,
Yeah,
and we look forward to have you at in Istanbul
I,
uh, at the
thank you so
conference.
much, Mihaela. Really, I appreciate this means a lot to me talking to you. I so much appreciate everything that you are and that you do and I feel when I talk to a person that has already changed their memetic operating system. And I also want in this opportunity to thank the Springer editorial team, especially Newton Lee, Professor Newton Lee, for allowing this book to come to life. And yes, and of course, to all of the Singularity Net team, especially Dr. Ben Gotzel, for really making sure that we decentralized knowledge and really by that connecting to our true essence, to nature. As nature is decentralized, our bodies are
Yes.
centralized, our minds are decentralized, and this is the future we really want to reach. As we
And
want,
Ben is
when we
sending
talk,
you his love. Ben is sending you his love, and he also looks forward to see you in Istanbul at our conference. And as we finalize the program, I will be in touch with you in this regard as our invited speaker. So to give us, more of your wisdom in how we craft the life with the singularity or in the singularity. We even don't know how to phrase that. Thank you so much.
thank you, Mihaela.